Men's basketball championship game Saturday night in Baltimore. Stone died early Saturday morning in a car crash outside of Montgomery, Alabama. The CIAA is made up of HBCU schools. Virginia State defeated Bluefield State 71-64 to earn the automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, yo, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it. Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
Who cares about the black community in Altadena? We do. On Saturday, March 8th at 10 a.m., it's the premiere of Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr. This new weekly show will explore the deep roots and resilience of Altadena's black community as we track its recovery and reimagine its future. From relief efforts to rebuilding, we're raising up voices, stories, and solutions to build back Black Altadena better and stronger than ever. It's Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr every Saturday at 10 a.m. beginning Saturday, March 8th with an encore presentation, Sundays at noon.
James Farr, the man who is the voice for Black Los Angeles.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
21, oh, life has just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it at everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now. It's the unbroken chains of his past by which he's bound.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
And it's a great honor to start every week with an affirmation, some meditation, getting our minds right, getting ourselves balanced, especially in these times. We have a meditation instructor, a mindfulness teacher, life coach, astrologer, numerologist. She's also a yoga teacher, and of course, a life coach, so much more. Saharah Ali is here for Mindful Monday.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Mondays, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with faith, power, wisdom, and truth. Today, I'd like to unpack the healing energy of March, inviting us to focus on our inner wisdom, transforming our outer vision, exercising faith, believing our needs can and will be met despite transformational chaos energy or chaotic energy unfolding, revealing truth. Our purpose now is to raise our consciousness as a collective, allowing our words, thoughts, and intentions to powerfully flow, exploring our inner vision without judgment, fear, shame, or resistance. March is the month where we engage in believing and trusting whatever we ask for in prayer, we will receive according to our faith. March will yield massive astrological changes, energetic changes, emotional changes, unfolding blessings and closure, and testing our faith. It will open doors of opportunities bearing fruit of our labor individually and collectively. We benefit by knowing the core of our being is rooted and grounded in divine universal love existing in all things. And now is the time to stand in our faith, believe in the manifestation of our dreams, releasing stagnant emotional burdens, and calling forth our power to stand in our truth. The call to action is to take ownership of our gifts, our talents, and listen with our inner vision to change our outer vision. Our Mindful Monday intention is to reframe through faith, picking up our power as individuals and collectively transforming helplessness to wholeness. So going forward with our Mindful Monday meditation, let's listen with our hearts. Let's open our minds. Let's let go of false hopes, releasing self-deception to receive inner truth, celebrating faith as the month of March brings forth massive transformation. So take a breath and connect and open yourself, allowing divine wisdom and clarity to come forward. Close your eyes, giving yourself permission to be here centered and grounded. Just breathe. And as you breathe, listen to your breath as it slowly moves in and through your nose and out of your mouth about 3 or 4 times. And as you breathe, relax. As you breathe, feel your heartbeat and the movement of your chest rising on the inhale and lowering on the exhale. In your breathing, find inner peace. Find stillness. In your breathing, receive divine guidance, supporting empowerment, supporting faith. Now inhale, opening to the wisdom of the world behind your eyes. Hold in that breath. Sit with that, the wisdom behind your eyes. And as you exhale, release victim consciousness, release fear, release helplessness, release the illusions that we have bought. Let go. Now inhale, and as you breathe in faith, breathe in empowerment, willingly allowing yourself to change your mind so you can change your life. Exhale, letting go to receive clarity, letting go, ready to transmute and transform any darkness that impedes collective empowerment as well as self-empowerment. Now inhale and take a big breath. And as you inhale, call forward a new beginning within yourself. Call forward under grace and ease the power behind your eyes to see the wisdom, to know truth. And as you exhale, allow yourself to have feelings of belief, feelings that change is here and now. Inhale, feeling relaxed and picking up your power, knowing we are the change agents of this time to manifest the shift in consciousness. Exhale, relax, and slowly begin to bring your awareness back to present time. And just focus on your breath slowly moving in and out of your body. And sit with breathing, allowing yourself to open to love from the Most High, allowing through your breath to feel your power of knowing you are a change agent. And as you breathe, allowing yourself to feel relaxed and centered and grounded here and now. Now take the biggest breath you've had all morning. Hold in that breath. Hold it in. And as you slowly exhale, open yourself to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. So just relax and breathe, feeling anchored and grounded in present time, connected to the world behind your eyes, and open your heart to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation. Today, I embrace my inner wisdom with faith, honoring my power to be the change agent of my life with grace and ease. Today, I embrace my inner wisdom with faith, honoring my power to be a change agent of my life with grace and ease. Sit with that. Be willing to be the change agent. Be willing to embrace the transformation of life with grace and ease. And most of all, honor your power and embrace inner truth. Thank you, Dominique, Tavis Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family. Have an unapologetic, mindful, blessed week, embracing inner wisdom with faith, being the change agent in your life during this time.
Saharah does a beautiful affirmation, and I'm thinking as I'm hearing you, embracing my inner wisdom. I think sometimes, clearly I heard the messages about, getting out of victim mentality, and I think it's very relevant for this moment in history. But I'm also thinking about sudden loss, like, over the weekend we lost Angie Stone in a car accident. And many times when we lose someone unexpectedly, she wasn't sick, she was touring, she was performing, she was in a car accident, and then she was gone. It's hard to process that, or maybe there's almost a feeling like they were gone too soon. Not almost. There is a feeling like they're gone too soon. She was born December 18th, 1961, and she died March 1st, 2025. And, I think the question has to do with how we process that, not just as far as grief goes, but also spiritually. How do you process that sudden loss of a person who seems like they should have been around for another 20, 30, 40 years?
Well, it's about reframing our process of what death is. Death is a transition. Death is a graduation. And however we die is still a graduation, and the universe is calling us home because we have a different purpose. And maybe she fulfilled her purpose. And we honor, at least I know, I honor death, and I understand death that way. And I try to teach my clients, when a soul crosses over, you pray for them and you thank them for the light that they have given us in this lifetime. And you hold the space for them supporting you because they are on the other side. And being on the other side, there's a clarity, there's a freedom. We are not bound to this physical body because we are life force energy that transcend and transmute energy, space, and time. And so as the soul dies, it opens the space for us, yes, to have reflection. It opens the space for us to pray for them and to call forth their light, to bless our lives, to give us clarity. We all have prayed to our loved ones who have crossed over in time of need, and then we get a miracle. So death is a graduation. It's a process of a soul crossing over and fulfilling their purpose. And we have been programmed with the belief that death is just horrible and they left behind this and that. They've graduated to open the space for a new beginning, not only for their soul, but for us as we grieve them, but also to celebrate their light and to send them light. Because when we grieve too long for a soul that crosses over, they can't go into the light. We all hear the stories, we're going to the light. And we've seen the movie Ghost, and that's real. The soul does hover around us. The soul does try to communicate to us, especially when we're grieving, until we open our hearts to respect the choice of God's will to be done to take this person home, whether or not we agree with the process of that person's physical crossing. We must always hold the space for the light. And the other thing is, we just finished the real closure of 2024. We are stepping into the real new year when we have the spring equinox in the middle of the month, near the end of the month. And so this is a time of death. This is a time of closure. This is a time of rebirth. It's a time of resurrection. And so there's a lot of souls that will be crossing over, and we will witness this. And so that closure is an opportunity for us to think about, what are we willing to release? What are we willing to give death to in our life that is no longer working for us, or that will help us transcend into something greater? So we pray for Angie Stone. we thank her for the blessing that she has left behind and her music. And maybe we will listen to her music in a different way. Maybe we will hear the message that God gave her as an artist to give us in her music. And maybe we should reframe how we hear her words and her purpose and her gift and her light that she bestowed upon us in this physical realm, and to celebrate her crossing over to go home and to sing on the other side a greater song, and to have her energy move through us and bring us light and consciousness as we grieve the physical, but celebrate the spiritual.
Saharah Ali, thank you so much. As always, I appreciate your insights and your words.
Thank you. And we have a lot of astrological energy shifting to closure, inciting reality. And so it's going to be kind of rough, but we have to remember to connect to our inner vision and have faith, connect to that wisdom and pray and be the change agents under grace and ease. And we can do it with grace and ease, and we can do it still having love in our heart and also feeling the pain of the closure. But we must pick up our power, stand in our faith, and know change is inevitable, and we are part of that change.
If you would like to take a yoga class, maybe you go to a sound bath, go to SaharahAli.com. If you'd like to have a personal consultation, some life coaching or an astrological reading, maybe some yoga work, you can call Elise, that's Saharah's assistant, at 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783. And, of course, rest in peace to the one and only Angie Stone. KBLA Talk 1580.
Sunshine has come, and I'm all cried out, and there's no more rain in this cloud. There's no hiding place when someone has hurt you. It's written on your face, and it reads, broken spirit, lost and confused, empty, scared, used and abused, a fool.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
There's new reaction following the Trump administration's sweeping efforts to cut the federal workforce.
Fired but not forgotten. The Testimony Project. Bearing witness, breaking silence, building community. KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to amplifying the voices of Black federal workers impacted by the mass firings. Rooted in the Black tradition of testimony, this initiative ensures that those who served us are not erased from history. Through firsthand accounts, investigative storytelling, and community-driven dialogue, we intend to expose injustice, preserve truth, and demand accountability. If you or someone you know has been forced out of federal employment due to the mass firings, please contact us at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or via the open mic feature on the KBLA 1580 app. We want to hear from you and share your story. KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Man almighty, happy Black Women's History Month. Happy Women's History Month. I'm laughing because Molly Bell is in the chat asking me if it's freezing in the studio. Yes, it's always cold in here. It's extra cold today. And it's funny because I really wanted to show off my True shirt. This is a Black-owned business owned by my friend Michael Brown. And he has a True shop in San Francisco that's been there since I lived in the Bay, which is going back to the 90s, right? And he has one in Oakland as well. And I got a chance to go visit it this weekend and got some fresh gear. And I just wanted to support True. You can find them online. They have a website, True. He's got all kinds of hip-hop gear. And Michael is also a DJ. So he's got that, a Bay Area OG DJ. So he's got that sensibility, that hip hop sensibility rooted in the early days of the Bay. So it was really fun to go and buy a few things. And I wanted to represent his brand today. If you're looking for something, a hip hop gear, maybe we'll get him back on. We had him on when we first started the Wealth Building Wednesday, and he's made some really interesting moves as far as licensing his brand, which I didn't even know were possible. And I didn't know Nike, like if you wanted to sell Nike, you need like a license. It's almost like a liquor license. That is a trip. I just thought anybody could just get them and sell. Anyway, it's another show for another day, but representing the True brand this morning. You're welcome in 800-920-1580. Morris Phillips says, Dominique, don't play with cold weather. Yeah, which is why I live in LA. It's one of the reasons I love this town, okay? Even if the studio's cold, it's probably not that bad outside. So, yes, indeed, rest in peace to Angie Stone. I did get a chance to watch a good part of the Oscars. And I think we have an assignment, at least I do. I haven't seen many of the Oscar movies, I'll admit. I saw a couple of them. But I did not see Anora, which was the surprise winner when the actress won Best Actress. It won Best Picture. Most people did not see it coming. And I haven't seen Nickel Boys, but that's the homework assignment. We all need to go see Nickel Boys, a Black project, Black written actors and director. A lot of folks were angry that it did not get nominated for Best Director, even though it received a Best Picture nomination, which is pretty commonly what they do with Black projects, I've noticed. They'll nominate you in one category but not another, so that it doesn't seem like your movie was one of the dominant movies, and then they'll rob you. I think all the way back to Malcolm X, when Spike Lee didn't get that Best Director nomination, and Denzel Washington did not get the Best Actor nomination. In this case, I've seen little clips from Nickel Boys, but I haven't seen the actual movie, and I'll be going to see it this week. It didn't win anything. It was basically shut out, but that's kind of the play that is done with these Black projects that even get any recognition at all. So, but it was an interesting show for sure. It was an interesting show. And a welcome relief after Trump and Vance beating up on Zelensky in the White House. What a spectacle. What a moment symbolizing really the end of all even pretense of normalcy at this point. And now Zelensky, has to make an apology tape. Well, he did, because he can't sock them in the face or tell them, forget you. I mean, he's got to humble himself for the sake of his nation. Now, however you feel about the U.S. investment in the war there, it's still shameful the way for a foreign dignitary to be treated that way. A president of another nation or a prime minister in the White House slapped around like he was, in a mob movie. I thought I was watching Goodfellas, starring Trump and Vance. And then Republicans berate the guy for not having a suit on when Elon Musk is giving press conferences in the Oval Office with a hat on, a baseball cap and a trucker cap or whatever that is, and one of his corny, cringy T-shirts, Occupy Mars or whatever the cringy T-shirt du jour is. The hypocrisy, but also the implications for the world. We'll talk more about that next hour. As we are going to explore the anniversary of the beating of Rodney King with Professor James Simmons, but also look at the real implications of those kinds of moves and the realigning of, I don't even know we can call it a realigning, the colonizing of every branch of government, the domination at this point, whether forced or elected, by this MAGA new Confederate Republican Party under the, I guess we'll call it leadership of Donald Trump. It amounts to a takeover, a coup of our system of government. Can't wait to hear what Professor Simmons says. You're invited in as well. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Like former mayor of Denver, Colorado, Michael Hancock is launching a fellowship for high school sophomores and juniors to learn about Black history in the Deep South. They will receive stipends to visit historic sites in Alabama, Mississippi, and Virginia. The search for a Black missing D.C. girl, Relisha Rudd, continues 11 years after her disappearance. She was last seen in 2014 with a shelter janitor who died a month later. A $50,000 award is still available for information. D.C. leaders warn of deep budget deficits due to federal job cuts. The forecast predicts a $21 million shortfall this year and an average $342 million deficit annually for the next 3 years. And the first teaser for Shrek 5 is hitting the internet. It reveals that Zendaya will be joining the cast as the daughter of Shrek and Fiona. Shrek 5 hits theaters on December 23rd, 2026. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
You asked for it. 9 new dates added. You won't want to miss. For the Record presents Tarantino Pulp Rock, the immersive live experience that will blow you away. Come kill it with us. Ends April 6th, only at the Cine Vita next to SoFi Stadium. Get your tickets now.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers' winning streak is now at 6. Last night's 108-102 win over the Clippers at Crypto.com moved the Lakers into second place in the Western Conference. Oklahoma City is on top in the West, 10 games ahead of the surging Lakers. The Lakers' 18-4 record is the best in the NBA over the past 6 weeks. Luka Doncic led the Lakers last night with 29 points and 9 assists. Rookie forward Dalton Knecht dropped 19 off the bench. The Lakers are back in action Tuesday night against New Orleans. The Clippers are at Phoenix on Tuesday. R&B singer Angie Stone was on her way to perform at the CIAA Men's Basketball Championship game Saturday night in Baltimore. Stone died early Saturday morning in a car crash outside of Montgomery, Alabama. The CIAA is made up of HBCU schools. Virginia State defeated Bluefield State 71-64 to earn the automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
I feel so alone.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like it inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
If you've struggled to lose weight in the past, this important message is for you because you could lose as much as 50 pounds or more with Zelfie. Zelfie makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelfie providers can prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight, like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others. Plus, help get the medication covered by insurance, so it's as little as $0 a month.
The doctors are super helpful, and the meds have been a game changer. It's the first program I've had success with.
Before Zelfie, I was unable to lose weight, even though I was eating healthy and exercising 6 days a week. Zelfie helped me not only lose weight, but I feel so much better.
Text GOAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GOAL to 200-300. That's GOAL to 200-300. GOAL to 200-300.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like your style, though?
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
We had a few political moments at the Oscars. No Other Land winning. It's a documentary put together by Palestinians and progressive Israelis talking about Gaza. It definitely divided the audience. Some folks just didn't want to clap, but they gave a very pointed speech in support of ending the war in Gaza. Not just that, going a little further, talking about what real justice would look like as far as, a two-state solution or a post-war Gaza. Meanwhile, in the real Gaza, Israel is now making demands and trying to change the ceasefire agreement. They have cut off all humanitarian aid once again to Gaza. And CNN is reporting that the truce between Israel and Hamas is, quote, hanging by a thread because Hamas reacted and the public reacted after Israel blocked all that humanitarian aid, which means we're back to kids starving and, people having no help whatsoever with all of the injuries and the aftermath of those injuries. Hamas is accusing Israel of violating their agreement. Well, yeah, it is a violation. It's not an accusation. Allowing aid in was part of the ceasefire agreement. Hamas calls it cheap blackmail and a war crime. There are 59 hostages still in Gaza, and Israel's demanding that they be returned. This deal was supposed to be in 3 phases, and the first phase expired last weekend. Now we get to the hard part where they have to negotiate the exit of Israel from Gaza and the release of the rest of those hostages as well as Palestinian prisoners, of which there are thousands, 1,737 released so far at this phase. But many of those folks were being held with no charges and no statement of why they were arrested. Back to the Oscars for a minute. Congratulations going out to Zoe Saldana. She actually did make a mildly political speech. It was the only one that I saw other than the No Other Land speech. She said she was a proud immigrant, daughter of immigrants, and she pointed out that she was the first Dominican American to receive an Oscar and said that she won't be the last. Congratulations going out to her. I felt for Demi Moore because she's been, having a whole robust career in Hollywood, and at 60-something, she was the favorite to win her first Oscar, but she did not. A 25-year-old, I think Demi is 60-something, which means in Hollywood you're pretty much expired as far as getting opportunities for the most part. But a 25-year-old named Mickey Madison won for Enora. So lots of surprises there. And, of course, the first black man to ever win for Best Costumes, Paul Tazewell. Congratulations going out to him. He mentioned it, too. He's like, yeah, I'm the first black man to win this. He wanted to acknowledge that. I felt like there was power in that in these times, which is crazy. Department of Education's back off a little teeny bit on their memo saying anything ethnic will defund you. It feels like that happened because somebody talked to a lawyer, because they're still making vague threats, but and not so vague threats. But basically they are saying that unless they find it discriminatory, they probably won't defund you. What is the current Confederate Republican Party's definition of discriminatory? Well, that remains to be seen, but I'm glad that they backed up a little bit, even though, sadly, we've seen the preemptive surrender of so many institutions, including USC, which I just abhor that. Wait until they sue you. Do not preemptively surrender. Let's go to Jeanette calling us from Inglewood. Good morning, Jeanette.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you so much for taking my call. Today, in the spirit of Women's History Month, I'm confessing scripture over Mayor Karen Bass, that she keeps her job and walks in peace during this storm, and that she has a hedge of protection around her house, and all that she has on every side. And then that the people that's attacking her, they fall into the trap that they have set, and they are exposed for what they have done and what they are trying to do, and that's to Rick Caruso. And I chose that scripture, and it's from Psalms 7:15 through 16, because I'm not going to say this exactly right, but there's someone that asked you the question, and then you asked the pastor last week about how you could pray, or is it wrong to pray for somebody, for wrong to happen to somebody. I'm not saying it right, but maybe you understand.
Yeah, you said it perfectly.
Okay. But, you pray the hole that they're digging, you fall into it. Psalms 7:15 through 16.
Interesting. Well, I think prayer is good. I believe our mayor, I'm broadcasting from Los Angeles, I believe our mayor needs more than prayer. I believe she needs us to also, of course, I'm not saying don't pray for her. We all need prayer. But I believe we're going to have to suit up and show up. There's a recall afoot. There's treachery afoot. And it's so funny that you would say that about falling into the hole that you dig, because Rick Caruso was on somebody's podcast this past weekend, and he said he really loves Elon Musk. He said, and to me, that is an example of falling into the hole that you dig, because for him to say that he loves Rick Caruso saying he loves Elon Musk is very interesting. Apparently, there's somebody that is on the Tesla board. That's also part of his new foundation. His foundation, which is supposed to be helping to rebuild Palisades and Altadena. But the reason I say that it's so interesting is because here you've got a billionaire supporting a billionaire, and that billionaire, Elon Musk, has been directly attacking our mayor. And now you see that it's part of both of them, having a plan. I mean, clearly, Rick Caruso and Elon Musk are talking, right? And he's getting support from Elon Musk to leverage his entire platform, Twitter, to attack the mayor of Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Caruso feels comfortable enough to, out of his own mouth, say he loves Elon Musk, even while Elon Musk is stripping people of their jobs, stripping people of aid to foreign countries that not only helps those foreign countries, but helps us with our soft power in the world, helps us clean up the messes that we make when we invade or do regime change. And I could go on and on. So he's basically saying, I really like Elon Musk. I've got all this money. Well, Elon Musk last week said that he thinks Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scam in history. So he's fine with the government giving him $38 billion with a B to support his raggedy companies that would not even be viable if it wasn't for that massive investment by the government. He's fine with that. But he calls people that have Social Security and an unemployment and disability the parasite class. That's Elon. And this is the guy you love, Caruso. And this is the guy we want to run our city, who says he feels he can do a better job than Karen Bass. That is the mentality that gave you a private police force to protect, a private firefighting force to protect his mall while people's actual family homes burned. And I think, you make a really good point, because to me that is an example of you falling into the hole that you dug. You just outed yourself.
Exactly.
As not being the newly minted Democrat that you claim to be. How can a Democrat love Elon Musk when he's saying, trying to prepare the ground to remove Social Security, which would throw thousands, well, millions actually, of seniors into houselessness? How can you say that you love Elon Musk when he just cut Medicaid, which will throw thousands and tens of thousands of children into disrepair, having no health benefits? How can you say you love Elon Musk when he is defunding AIDS help through PEPFAR, right? And he claims Ebola research to stop that disease is back, but it's not. That's what you love? That's not a dog whistle. That's a dog siren. Jeanette, we'll continue this conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
There's new reaction following the Trump administration's sweeping efforts to cut the federal workforce.
Fired but not forgotten. The Testimony Project. Bearing witness, breaking silence, building community. KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to amplifying the voices of Black federal workers impacted by the mass firings. Rooted in the Black tradition of testimony, this initiative ensures that those who served us are not erased from history. Through firsthand accounts, investigative storytelling, and community-driven dialogue, we intend to expose injustice, preserve truth, and demand accountability. If you or someone you know has been forced out of federal employment due to the mass firings, please contact us at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or via the open mic feature on the KBLA 1580 app. We want to hear from you and share your story. KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
I found out that one of my players was vaping. I brought him in and asked him, where did this stuff come from? He said, it's bigger than you think, coach. He had told me that almost everybody in my team was vaping. The next day, all the parents came in, and I said, hey, you as parents need to do your part. You guys need to figure out how, why, and when this stuff is happening, and we got to get it fixed.
Coach Sanchez and his team took vaping head-on. Learn how he and other Californians are beating big tobacco at undo.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from Nits in the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Indeed, it is. And we're going to go right to these phones, 800-920-1580. Going to Paul, calling us from L.A. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Dominique. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm blessed. I just wanted to chime in on the conversation with I'm sorry, is it echoing on my end, on your end?
We do not hear echo.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. Okay, so I want to bring into context just the conversation of what's transpiring throughout our government and everything, and also with this orange-head buffoon that's our president that's currently. So think about it just from a standpoint of why an unelected official like Elon Musk has been basically given power to shrink our government. Think of the agencies that he's targeting. The FDA, they oversee Neuralink. He's tied to Neuralink. The FAA, SpaceX, is tied to SpaceX. USAID, Starlink. The Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, Tesla. All they're doing is removing agencies that are regulators that were in place to keep things in check. They are shrinking the government. This is all about who gets control of government contracts, government subsidies, and at the same time, our tax dollars. So while they cut, and this is the most interesting thing in the world right here, because Dominique, in that budget cut that's going to get that's going to get through from the Republicans, it's going to happen just like those nominations happened. $880 billion in cuts to Medicaid are going to happen. Who is that going to directly impact? People that look like me and you. But the craziest part about it, Dominique, is of the social programs that we have, Reagan said the famous social welfare queens. But in reality, if you know the numbers, 43% of people that use social assistance recipients in this country are white. So while they think they're attacking us, they're shooting themselves in the foot. How do you keep people divided? You use the race card. They don't offer people anything. So while they think they got a populist, no, the guy that's in office is not only up for sale, but he's exactly the establishment that everyone thought that he was not. He's doing exactly what they've always done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are a lot of good points. There's also one other piece that I know you know, but we haven't talked about as much, which is if it's not an agency that was investigating or taxing Elon Musk, there's the privatization piece, right? And to me, that's what the Department of Education defunding is all about. That's what we're going to see more and more of, is the privatization of everything, infrastructure, which of course comes with usually more raggedy systems and higher bills.
Right. And Dominique, and a lot of times what I hear a lot is, and you're big on this proponent too, policies over party. Remember, like we go with what's best for our community. We understand the significance of defunding because that's going to directly impact our children. When they pull money from feeding students in schools, right, that directly impacts our children. When they pull money from education, that directly impacts our children. When they pull money from investing in our communities, that directly impacts Black small businesses. So when I tell people, if you ever want the answer to why things aren't making sense, always follow the money. Mm-hmm. Always follow the money. And if I told you directly that that Palantir and SpaceX were direct donors to both the Democratic and the Republican Party, then you would understand that, okay, that's Peter Thiel, that's Cart, and that's Elon Musk. So why am I hearing so much really pushback to anti-Black? But it's not just anti-Black. It's a silencing of Black women. Black women have always been the coalition that kept everything together. They've always been the legwork. They've always been the organizers. Well, why would they do that? It's because what we essentially have since the Citizens United decision is Wall Street and the wealthiest of the wealthy are leveraging the elitists of both parties at the expense of the voters, the working class. People, this is a class war. Take color out of it. The haves and have-nots. Wake up, people.
Well, when you say take color out of it, you're talking about for the sake of understanding, not because color is not still a factor, right?
Exactly. No, because all that man went in front of people, he didn't offer them anything outside of saying, you're losing your country. See, hate is taught. They have that stuff institutionalized in their schooling. They have that stuff from their pastors are in on it. They have that stuff ingrained, the Southern strategy. All they ever done is blamed us, even though our civil rights movement has not only lifted this country to where it was before they're tearing it apart now. That's why sometimes, Dominique, when a conversation happens that let's get out of here, I'm one of the people that turn around and say, man, my ancestors built this.
You mean let's get out of here as in moving out of the country. And that's what I've always said too, Paul. I've always said I'm team stay and fight because my ancestors have sweat, blood, tears, equity in this land. We built this land. But at the other hand, you don't want to be, long ago I read this book called Prisoner Without a Name, Cell Without a Number. And when you get to real hardcore fascism, people start disappearing. They start being terrorized. I mean, even as a survivor of COINTELPRO, which directly targeted both of my parents, and I've lived through that. I've seen what that is, and it ain't fun. In fact, in the 1967, what they called a riot or uprising in Newark, they disappeared my dad, and it was a coalition of artists that speaking out at a time when we didn't have social media that made the police mysteriously find him in the jail system with his head busted open. So I know I know what that can mean. for individuals and organizations, and not to be afraid, because I think courage is the order of the day, but to be smart, not saying leave or abandon the spot necessarily, but having a backup plan, a temporary escape. How many of them, Josephine Baker and James Baldwin and others that left and came back, not saying I will or that you should, but certainly it's something to look at a time like this.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to give this last little shout out to my queens. Before I do that, people, when being a black contrarian in these times is getting people paid. So you have to understand that when some people are making conscious decisions on their end, that they'll be the ones that, as long as I get an extra couple of crumbs or extra coin, I'm okay with burning it down for the rest of us. For the rest,
Stephen A. Smith.
So then it comes on us to understand, right? It comes on us to understand what that is and why some people are doing it.
Okay, you better get to your shout out to your queens, because we only got a minute right here until the top of the hour.
And that's all I need. Sarah E. Good, the queen that invented a folding cabinet bed in 1865. Patricia Bath, Alice Parker, Valerie Thomas, obviously, Madam C.J. Walker. Hey, American history is black history. Thank you, Dominique.
Well said. American history is black history, and women's history is American history, and black women's history is at the heart of American history. So well said, Paul. I mean, especially when you look at the why. Why would Republicans be going out of their way to attack black women? Why would oligarchs, billionaires, whether it be the billionaire, South African-born billionaire who owns the LA Times, or the South African-born billionaire who owns Donald Trump, why are they targeting black women? Why? And I think you put it so well in this Women's History Month, because we are the engine. We are the engine and the fuel of progress in this country, and certainly for the Democratic Party. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to speaking with the professor and getting a glimpse of what's going on the national scene. You're welcome to be involved and to participate as well. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Like former mayor of Denver, Colorado, Michael Hancock is launching a fellowship for high school sophomores and juniors to learn about Black history in the Deep South. They will receive stipends to visit historic sites in Alabama, Mississippi, and Virginia. The search for a Black missing D.C. girl, Relisha Rudd, continues 11 years after her disappearance. She was last seen in 2014 with a shelter janitor who died a month later. A $50,000 award is still available for information. D.C. leaders warn of deep budget deficits due to federal job cuts. The forecast predicts a $21 million shortfall this year and an average $342 million deficit annually for the next 3 years. And the first teaser for Shrek 5 is hitting the internet. It reveals that Zendaya will be joining the cast as the daughter of Shrek and Fiona. Shrek 5 hits theaters on December 23rd, 2026. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
You asked for it. 9 new dates added. You won't want to miss. For the Record presents Tarantino Pulp Rock, the immersive live experience that will blow you away. Come kill it with us. Ends April 6th, only at the Cine Vita next to SoFi Stadium. Get your tickets now.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers' winning streak is now at 6. Last night's 108-102 win over the Clippers at Crypto.com moved the Lakers into second place in the Western Conference. Oklahoma City is on top in the West, 10 games ahead of the surging Lakers. The Lakers' 18-4 record is the best in the NBA over the past 6 weeks. Luka Doncic led the Lakers last night with 29 points and 9 assists. Rookie forward Dalton Knecht dropped 19 off the bench. The Lakers are back in action Tuesday night against New Orleans. The Clippers are at Phoenix on Tuesday. R&B singer Angie Stone was on her way to perform at the CIAA Men's Basketball Championship game Saturday night in Baltimore. Stone died early Saturday morning in a car crash outside of Montgomery, Alabama. The CIAA is made up of HBCU schools. Virginia State defeated Bluefield State 71-64 to earn the automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Who cares about the black community in Altadena? We do. On Saturday, March